absolutely. Let's hop out of the MLB, though. Still plenty to talk about, Brett, including a fantastic UFC card going on this weekend. I mean, the main card has Andrade starting it off, and then a heavyweight bout. And then we have a rematch 17 years in the making, the precursor before the two title matches, which will also be fantastic. But, Brett, Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. This is that video that, if you remember, there is a viral Joe Rogan clip from one of his very early podcasts that comes out. Joe was on the UFC call 17 years ago when these guys fought, and Robbie Lawler was a menace to society that no one wanted to fight back then. And Nick Diaz just raised his hand. He's like, I'll go in there. And as the fight starts, in the pre-fight, before the names come in, Nick Diaz walks into that cage and is looking at Robbie Lawler yelling, "Stockton, motherfucker, Stockton," and puts on an amazing fight, absolutely shocks everybody by unseating and taking out Robbie Lawler. But let's be honest, that was 17 years ago, Brett. Nick Diaz has not fought in the UFC in 6 years. That fight 6 years ago was a draw against Anderson Silva. Those fights back then, the last time that Nick Diaz was in the cage, were some very big fights, some potential title fights even. But Robbie Lawler does not have that type of ring rust. Robbie Lawler fought in 2020. Both these guys are old men. They are not the fighters that they were of the past. It's going to be a very interesting fight. I think Robbie Lawler, though, is being discredited a lot on this line because he lost the first fight. He is only a minus 125 favorite against Nick Diaz because he did not beat Nick Diaz the first time, in my opinion. Nick Diaz has not been in the ring in 6 years. Robbie Lawler should be a much heavier favorite. I am absolutely jumping on Robbie Lawler here, but I'm going to be shopping it also in Arizona because, Brett, I will be honest, I'm traveling there on Thursday. They have much more books than Oregon does. Oregon has Robbie Lawler listed at minus 125. I look on ESPN, who uses Caesars, who I know is in Arizona. They have Robbie Lawler at minus 115. So you know what? I'm going to wait till Thursday. This fight's not till Saturday. And I think it's going to be a fantastic card. It's pay-per-view. People are going to have to buy it. I think it's definitely going to be worth it, though.
Yeah, Higgins, I would be straight up lying to all of our listeners if I gave any insight on this fight whatsoever. You mentioned something that happened 17 years ago. I had never even heard of the incident. So I'm just gonna say I hope you enjoy the fight. I hope you can find a bar that is playing the fight in Phoenix or Scottsdale or Tempe or any of those places in Arizona. And
I'm sure I'll find one.
yeah, so I hope your bet cashes, but I have no idea who is going to do anything in that fight.
Well, Brett, I think Vegas knows who's going to win the next fight because the fight after that Nick Diaz-Robbie Lawler fight is the first of two title fights, and it's Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. If you haven't heard of Shevchenko, she is the top of her weight class, and no one has been able to even come close to touching her. She's a minus 1,500 favorite here. I don't disagree with the line either. She is absolute menace to that women's division, and I don't see her relinquishing that belt anytime soon. But Brett,